What is going on, brothers? It's Mgtow, you know the name. Got another video for you. As you're entitled, Lockout, Part 14. Here goes. So now that the situation is getting more and more serious, and a lot of these trollops, psychotic malcontents, and YouTube simping derelicts are finding it increasingly difficult to pay their rent, certain attitudes are changing. Certain attitudes are changing. On one hand, you have certain trolls jumping on social media saying things like, chivalry is sexy. And for you brothers worth your salt, you brothers with ICC ears to hear, we all know what that means. Let's translate, shall we? The translation is, come back, take care of my kids, pay my bills, pay off my student loan debt right now. That's what they're really saying when they say things like chivalry is sexy. Or there's nothing wrong with being a stepdad. Being a stepdad is honorable. You see, these trollops are filling up shit creek without a paddle. But the problem is, the pet wallets and all the men that they thumb their nose at for 50 years are nowhere to be found. They're not there. The men are not there to be fed upon, pimped, and robbed by these trollops and these psychotic malcontents. So the attitude is changing. But I don't think it's not going to change. These legal snares and traps and all these financial pitfalls that they promoted and put in place, helped to put in place, those aren't going to change. But you see, right now they're changing their attitude because they could very well starve and their consequences are hitting home. And to that, I gotta say it like this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. For you brothers worth your salt, you brothers of ICC ears to hear, master your Lockout game perfected. Get your lock on. That's what you gotta do, brothers. That's what you got to do during these perilous times. You see, there are some brothers out there saying things like casual prostitution is becoming the norm. And in certain major American cities, I could see that. But if you live in not so major American cities or small towns, or if you live in the rural areas, you won't see it. Maybe in another year or two, maybe you will, but you brothers who have prepped for it, you brothers who have learned to adjust and adapt it, you'll be able to weather the storm. You'll be able to weather the storm. Because understand this, these same pitiful specimens, these trollops, these psychotic malcontents who have a problem with what we say, now we say it, the ones who have been thumbing their nose at us for 50 years, they need us. But we all know that they want to feed upon us. That's what they really want. And for you brothers worth your salt, you brothers of ICC ears to hear, what have I always told you? What do you call a person who hates you and wants what you have? That person's a thief. But the problem is the thieves are not going to get to our pockets because we're nowhere to be found. We've left. We messed our Lockout game. And judging by the look of things, it's on autopilot. It's on autopilot. HDPD. Host denies, parasite dies. And I know there are some brothers sitting on the fence, and there are still some out there who are still sympathetic to these trollops and these psychotic malcontents who have gone above and beyond to disenfranchise and hurt you on purpose. But I gotta say it like this. For those sitting on the fence and those who are still sympathetic, you do realize that it doesn't matter how much you soften your tone. It doesn't matter how much you try to appeal to them. It doesn't matter how well spoken you are. They still want your head on the plate. Don't your head on the plate. You see, to them, they'd rather scapegoat you. They'd rather scapegoat you for all their fuck-ups and all the ruinous choices they've made than look in the mirror. That's what they'd rather do. These specimens are exactly what Booker T. Washington told his students to stay away from many, many moons ago. One Sunday evening when he was giving his lectures to his students, he mentioned that there are certain people who can't think and have nothing mapped out for themselves. He said that these types of people are worth nothing. They really ought to be paying rent for the air that they breathe. We're dealing with the same thing in this day and age. The same specimens in this day and age, we're dealing with the same ones. That's why of the utmost importance that you master your Lockout game and perfect it, brothers. Master your Lockout game and perfect it. If you want a historical account of the Lockout game, look no further than Central America. You want to know why the Olmecs died out? The Olmecs died out because the Aztecs and the Mayans did not deal with them. You know what I said? The Aztecs and the Mayans did not deal with the Olmecs. And because of this, the Olmecs died out. You see, they mastered the Lockout game. They locked them out. And today's no different. We know that times are tough. We know the situation is desperate, but you gotta master the Lockout game and perfect it, brothers. Your survival comes first. Do that. This is Line of Mgtow. That's all I got for you, brothers. If you like the video, like, share in the commentary, feel free to subscribe. If you're enjoying this, my channel, you find a tip jar on the upper right hand side of the screen. That's the G+ icon. Alright, fam. Alright, brother. You know it's real. You know it's going to SYSPM. As for these ditch pigs, these starving leeches, and these psychotic malcontents, so the problem what we say now, we say it, give them nothing. This has been Mgtow PSA. More to come to sight. See you soon.